What's up, Moda Brats? It's Spiritual Gaudi, and welcome to the long awaited series of What If Goku Married Android 18. My comments of my channel, most of them are to continue What If Goku Married Android 18, and I did cancel it. And now the reason why I'm starting is because number one, I kind of didn't like the script. After reading it or renewing the script again, I didn't really write a script at that time, but now I'm writing scripts. But as I said previously, I just blabbed things that come in my mind. I didn't have a focus of a story. But now, why do I have a focus of a story currently? It's because today I had my papers, some exam papers, and I finished it an hour early. So I just had to sit an hour, just sitting around waiting for the bell to ring so I could give my paper and get lost. But so I just decided, I just tried to sleep, but it didn't work out. So I decided to just think about it. So my thinking process started, and eventually I came with this topic. And when I remembered what I said at that time, I realized that I was trash. The story was trash. Okay, the story was literally trash. There's no whole component in it. There's no nothing. There's no an impact on it. It's basically just bullshits which can't be even logical. And I think it has been a lot of time since I have from that what if to currently this what if. I have grown a lot in making YouTube videos. I'm doing like a thinking process. But yeah, anyways, the most the most popular series in my channel, that being What If Goku Married Android 18, is this. And this is going to be like a 5-part series mostly. So I think 5 or 6 parts. Yeah, after that I'm going to finish this What If. And if you guys want a movie of all the parts combined, just tell me in the comments below. So without any further ado, let's get watching. So our story starts off in a cave where we meet one Dr. Jiro who is messing with, or well, programming a pod labeled 9 and 10, Android 9 and 10. Now what is he doing exactly? He is creating an android from a human body named Android 9 and Android 10. Now, why the hell is he doing this? Simple. He wants revenge against one Son Goku. Now, who is Son Goku, you might ask? Simple. He might be a grown ass man. Is he a grown ass man who is so strong that he defeated an entire army? Well, you are correct about the so strong part, but you are wrong about the grown ass man part. He was 14 when he completely wiped out the Red Ribbon Army, and currently he's 16. Now, Dr. Jiro uses drones to spy on Goku and his friends, gaining info or data from them, and he kind of inputs into the androids to make the androids more powerful. And it kind of is better. But where did he find these androids? Where did Dr. Jiro find these androids, you might ask? It's simple. Dr. Jiro has been eyeing a pair of twins named Lapis and Lazuli before the whole destruction of the Red Ribbon Army. And after the destruction of the Red Ribbon Army and his motivation to develop his research even more, he kidnapped Lapis and Lazuli, brought them to his hiding cave, and he started experimenting on them, changing their humanly parts into mechanical parts. But they are still human, but they have mechanical parts in them. Now, the Lapis and Lazuli are two twins, as I said. So Dr. Jiro wanted to see what kind of reaction it happens with the twins. So he would just experiment on them. Now Dr. Jiro would get the data on King Piccolo, which he would insert it on the pod of Android 9 and 10, and that's when he would get the information about King Piccolo's defeat and death, and how Goku is injured beyond belief. Dr. Jiro, who wanted revenge against Goku, decides this is the right time to release his creations out in the world to number one, kill Son Goku and end his life forever, and number two, to take control on the earth. So he hastily types a program in he types a coding program in the pots, that being to kill Goku, and he would release the pots effectively immediately, I mean. But this would kind of have a side effect which I would explain in just a little bit. And both Android 9 and Android 10 would wake up and look around, realizing they don't know where they are. Their memories have been wiped by Dr. Zero, but not entirely, so they do remember their name. That is Lapis and Lazuli. And they after Dr. Zero commands them to do the orders given to programmed in them, but Android 9, being Lapis, decides he doesn't want to do anything, so he punches Zero, and Zero gets sent flying towards his wall, and he crashes into it, causing the room to collapse. And both Android 9 and Android 10 power up their key and would fly off in search for one named Son Goku, because their program is to kill him after all. But they are not going to kill him because number one, the program hasn't fully been incorporated into them. It's just there. So their system, you could say, their main core is showing an error to the program. So they would want to go to Goku first. Android 9 would want to go to meet Goku first to ask for help, while Android 10, that is Lazuli, is not so keen in it, but she just tags along with her twin brother and they would reach Goku. Now what is Goku doing? He has just defeated King Piccolo and he's got it knocked out, and Yajirobe, a samurai, would pick Goku and drag him towards Korin's tower, climbing it up, and when Goku wakes up, Korin gives him the Senzu Bean. And after that, Korin explains Kami and how to get there, and Goku would gladly want to go to Kami, but since he can't fly towards the lookout, he has to go through another way, and that he gets reminded of the power pole, which is in the Kame house. So Goku would go back down to the ground, and he would start walking towards the Kame house, but that's when two figures would land on the ground near him, and that would be Android 9 and Android 10. Goku, after seeing the Red Ribbon Army logo on their shirts, would instantly get on guard, thinking they're here to get revenge or something. But Android 9 raises his hand up and tells him that he has come in peace, and Goku doesn't lower his guard but decides to listen him out. And that's when Android 9 explains their situation, about who they are and what they're doing, what happened to them. Now Goku doesn't get the scientific part, but he knows who gets it, so he tells them to tag along while he goes to the Kame house. And now who is staying in Kame house? Yamcha and Bulma. Now Goku gets his power pole, and Bulma hugs the hell out of him, worrying about him. But that's when Goku would remove her body from her and would introduce Android 9 and 10 to Bulma. Now Bulma, after hearing the story, would be very interested as well as concerned that you could say that what happened to them. So Bulma would immediately take both the androids to the Capsule Corp and start searching for them for anything. First, she stumbled across the program to kill Goku, which she immediately erases because she doesn't want Goku to die. And number one, she doesn't want these twins to be on some kind of robotic thing. Then she would start searching again, and she would find a bomb which she would remove quite easily, because as you guys should know, Goku's Goku's power, I mean, not Goku. The Dragon Ball Z, Bulma was able, Dr. Giro didn't have all the resources that he had in the canon, meaning everything he input inside the twins' body was incomplete. And Bulma does realize it. The Infinity Engine is incomplete. So Bulma, with Dr. Giro's incomplete project, would be able to complete it with her superficial mind. And this also gives her an idea to create infinite energy source. So she takes some blueprints by referencing with the twins' infinite energy. After that, both would be removed of any unnecessary things like programming and you could say some tools which are necessary. But Bulma gives them the sad news that they cannot go back to their own life because number one, when Bulma searched their history, their parents were dead but killed by Red Ribbon Army, so they can't really go anywhere, and they didn't really have friends because the twins were quite rebellious actually. So Bulma then gives them the option to start anew, which the androids would take. And the Infinite Engine would also be repaired to completely, meaning Android 9 and Android 10 would be given infinite energy, and they won't go by Android 9 and Android 10 anymore. They would go by their real names, Lapis and Lazuli. Now, Goku is interested in these androids. If he remembers correctly, Eta was strong, so these people might be strong too. So he asks them to tag along with him to the Kami's lookout, which 70, Lapis agrees, and Lazuli begrudgingly just has to like tag along with Lapis because they both have each other from now on. So yeah, both Goku and the two androids would reach Corin's tower, where Goku would use his power pole to stretch it to Kami's lookout, and he would reach Kami. When Kami would introduce himself, Goku would attack him first, but Kami would explain to him who he is and what his position is to the earth, and as well as tell them that he knows about the androids, so he will help them train, all three of them. And the training begins. The training consists of 3 years, and in the training, Goku and Android 18 spar with each other a lot. Now, what is Android 18's? Not 18. Shit, I'm just blabbing. Yeah, Lapis and Lazuli spar level. They are in the 700s, which is a lot for Dragon Ball. They are like stronger than Goku in the Tenkaichi Budokai, and stronger than both Goku and Piccolo combined. And yeah, both of them are in the 700s levels. So this would cause this would cause Goku to push his body even further, and he would gain strength even higher. And the question would now, what would Lazuli do? Lazuli, that's her name, right? Yeah, Lazuli. Yeah, I'll just call her Lazuli from now on. I know, you know what? I'll just call her 18 from now on because it's more easy to roll it off the tongue instead of like saying Lapis and Lazuli. So I'll just call Lapis Android 17 and Lazuli Android 18. So yes, not Goku. Android 17 would spar with Goku like a lot of times, which would cause Goku to get immensely stronger. And Android 18 would also jump in time to time, but she wouldn't do most of the sparring, but she would spend her time elsewhere, and that is with Mr. Popo and Kami. She would learn from Kami about like using her android intelligence to the benefit, and should also learn how to take care of beings from Popo, and some intellectual things from Kami. This would kind of boost her, and this is also very important for the future. I'll explain why in a later bit. But anyways, Goku would be given the option to remove his tail and not remove his tail. And Android 17 or Lapis does ask Kami why the hell Goku should remove his tail. And Goku would also ask Kami whether he should remove his tail, and Kami, being pressed by both sides, would reveal the fact that Goku has this Ozaru monkey. Now Goku gets terrified that he was the one who killed Grandpa Gohan, but with Android 87, but he just gets up again because Goku's not the guy to get in depression. He would uh, he would make it his goal to control this power, and this would cause an immense change from the canon storyline. If you guys already don't know, it's already a big change from here on out. Goku would start training with his tail. Not, it's already immune, by the way. He would start training his Ozaru form. So whenever you could say moonlight, whenever the full moon comes, he would go to the ground, and he would train with not train, he would go to the Ozaru form and try to control it. White Lapis would be the one to like distract him or fly around him, and since Lapis like has infinite energy, he doesn't even get tired, so he's able to help Goku control the form. Lazuli and Goku have starting to have a bond, which Goku can't really explain what it is, but Lapis can, Lazuli can, and she kind of falls for Goku, but she keeps her distance, because she's kind of a Sundere type, more or less. If you guys didn't know, yes, Android 18 was a Sundere type. So, yes, so Goku would get stronger, and the Tenkaichi Budokai would arrive. But before that, Goku would kind of control the Ozaru form to a place where he can like not go berserk, and he can just focus on one target, and that if that target is done off, Goku can just be back in control. So this is a great improvement for Goku to control his Ozaru form, giving him a humongous boost. But yeah, the 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai comes after 3 years. In this Tenkaichi Budokai, Lapis and Lazuli would like reintroduce themselves to the group, or well, Bulma knows about them, but other than that, they have to introduce them for the first time. And Bulma does do a checkup to Android 17 and Lapis and Lazuli to see that they are perfectly alright, and they are. Now, what is Goku and both androids' power level? Goku is at a power level of 1200. Goku is at a power level of 1200 because of the fact that he has two very good training partners, as well as the fact that he gets Zenkai whenever he goes to Zaru and like goes blinding rage. With all calculating that, I think it would have Goku at around 12,000 power level. But power level does not really come into play until Frieza Saga. After Frieza Saga, it does not really come into play. So yeah, what is Android 18's power level actually? Android 17 and 18. Lazuli's power level would be 900 because she doesn't train a lot, but since she's an android, she's able to develop fast. Now, what about 17's power level? He should be like super strong, right? Nah. Since this android is like a lower version from the canon androids, he's not able to like get stronger to Super Saiyan Blue level by like beating the shit out of poachers or something like he did in canon. So 17 or Lapis would be at the power level of around 2000 or 2000, whatever you want to call it, or not around but 2000, and this would be a stronger better thing, most or less. But yeah, the the draws would be placed with Chaozu like interfering with them, and the teams would be placed. Now Kami wouldn't be in the tournament because why would he like has like 3 strong disciples who can easily outmatch Piccolo. He did sense Piccolo's strength, but it isn't nearly as isn't nearly powerful enough for even Lazuli. So yeah, he doesn't compete, meaning some canon fodder takes like the Kami's place, but this doesn't really interfere with the story that much. Yamcha still loses in the semi-finals. It really doesn't really matter that much. But yeah, the fights that matter are Goku versus Chi-Chi, and when Goku like destroys her basically like just with wind pressures, Chi does reveal her identity and asks Goku to marry her, but Goku is kind of conflicted. His growing feelings for Android 18 does encourage him, and he denies this because I think. Do you really guys think that girl you met, like, I don't know, 5 6 years ago? Yeah, Goku was 12 at the start of the series, and this Goku is currently 19. So yeah, around 7 years you don't see the girl, and then she asks you to marry her, which is kind of weird, I think. But in canon, Goku was okay. But since this Goku has feelings for Android 18 or Lazuli, he denies. But Lazuli does take a lot of interest in this conversation that has been going on. And after Goku rejects her, she exhales and she doesn't even know why she's released. And Bulma notices this, which causes her to, like, kind of tease Android 18, which really doesn't matter. So anyways, the next fight would that differentiate would be, and by the way, Android Lapis and Lazuli would also be in the tournament, and Lapis and Lazuli would be put against each other, causing Lapis to win. But Lazuli would not even push that much because she knows that what needs to be done. The next fight would be Kami, or you could not Kami, yeah, Android 18 versus Yamcha, and Yamcha would lose in the semifinals. Basically, yeah, Yamcha loses. It doesn't matter who's in the roster or who's not. But yeah, the second fight would be Tien versus Goku. Without even removing the waist, Goku is able to easily defeat Tien. And the final match between Goku and Piccolo ensues. This battle is a monstrosity of a battle. Not for Goku, that is, for Piccolo. Piccolo realizes just how outmatched he is in this fight, and it kind of, like, seriously wounds Piccolo's pride. He tries everything. Hell, he tries everything. Every key attacks he knows. He even grows big, for goddamn sakes. But Goku still takes him down, causing Piccolo to lose without Goku really doing much. And this kind of has a loss that Goku wouldn't get the Zenkai boost that he got. But Goku's, like, far outclasses his canonical self at this point, so it wouldn't really matter, that is. And yeah, the peace would ensue, and the 5 year peacetime would act. So after Goku's fight with the whole tournament, where he is declared as the tournament champion, he does have a little the thing that is the thing bothers him. That is the marriage thing. Not that he regrets that he, like, cancelled Chi Chi. And what about Chi Chi, by the way? In my previous what if, in my, like, redo of what if, I did say that Chi Chi married Krillin, but I just don't think Chi Chi and Krillin are really gonna marry. She just goes back to her hometown and marries some normal guy, and she never appears in the story ever again. She's just like a one-time character, which she was before Dragon Ball Z happened. And yeah, Goku does get some weird things. So he does, after a couple of months, he asks Bulma for tips, and Bulma would give him to, just tell Android 18 or Lazuli, and Goku would go and ask her hand in marriage, and Lazuli would agree with some Sundre moment. But yeah, the marriage would happen a little bit late than what Goku's happened, meaning Gohan would be born a little bit late, but that really wouldn't change anything. But what would change is what would come after that. Now, knowing the family needs food, the new family needs food now, Android 18 would take up the job of, well, a job, and that is, she would start a company with Bulma's help, being named the Sun Enterprises, which would be using the tech that Bulma manufactured, being unlimited energy, and, like, distributing free medical supplies to people who need them. Not free medical supplies to people who, like, direly need them. And this causes the Sun Enterprise to completely blow up, and they rival Capsule Corp. And Capsule Corp and you could say Sun Enterprises shake hands, showing their very much popular deal. 'Cause this would kind of bring the news, like this would be the headline for years to come. But yeah, but Android, I mean, Lazuli would start a startup, being an organization, enterprise which would gain money, meaning Goku would never have to work because, well, 18 is doing it for him, and well, Go 8 or Lazuli knows that Goku hates, likes only training, so she would do it for him because 18 doesn't really like training, and she's more than comfortable with managing a damn thing on her own, managing an enterprise on her own, and she's quite strong. So yeah, that's that. When Gohan is born, his sane instincts aren't suppressed by anyone because I really don't think that Gohan who didn't want to fight is because Chi forced him to study all the time and not want him to study, like fight, causing Gohan's sane instincts to be buried inside. And until Goku came around and started training with him, which was like after Frieza's saga, Gohan was completely fed up with fighting because his introduction to fighting was like getting kidnapped and seeing getting to see his father's ass beat. That was introduction to fighting actually. But this Gohan gets introduction to fighting by seeing Lapis and Goku fighting. Now Lapis also gains a job, that being the ranger hunter. He still gets the same job. I don't think it's really gonna change. And he also gets a wife and marries her, that being the same in canon. So Gohan gets a brother who's not going to be included in the story like any way, shape, or form. So yeah, that's kind of gonna be weird, but I mean, come on, like they didn't really show us, so I can't just go on and imagine things, right? Anyways, 5 years would pass with Goku helping Gohan with this like basic martial arts because after seeing him and his uncle fighting, his father and his uncle fighting, Gohan's sane instinct would rise, and Goku would be all happy to help his and train his son, causing Gohan not to start at not at a power level of 2, at a power level of 50, which is like way stronger than what Goku ever had in his age. Like what Goku had a power level of 3 or 4 when he was 5 mostly. I mean, when he was at 12, he was at a power level of 10 actually. So this is a humongous improvement, and this also shows that just how much potential Gohan has. So the group is invited to Kami, the reunion of Kami house, and Goku does go with, well, Goku goes like brings Gohan and goes. Now what about Lapis and Lazuli? Lazuli just tells Goku to go while she handles the company, while Lapis goes to his island where he does ranger duties. So only Goku and Gohan got to go. Now what about Gohan? How does he look? He has blonde hair. Of course, he has blonde hair because he's son of Android 18 and Goku. So Gohan has blonde hair, and yeah, this would kind of go. I mean, Gohan would have blonde hair, and this would, you could say, this would kind of not really do anything except for Gohan having black hair. It's kind of blonde hair because I mean, even Trunks had pink hair or purple hair, what color you want to call it, you can call it. So it's not out of the realm of possibilities that Gohan would have blonde hair. So that the meeting would go, and everyone would be introduced to Gohan's son, but they wouldn't be surprised because, well, Bulma has been visiting the company for like a lot of time for mostly business, but she does meet Goku, and she also meets little Gohan, but it has been a little while. And but the party is interrupted by Raditz shows up, like Master Co. But anyways, Raditz would show up and blabble about scene and that and this, which nobody would understand except for Goku. And he would do also kidnapped Gohan, or would he? Hell nah, boy. There would be no kidnapping in Goku's eyes. Now, what is Goku's power level? Now, since he has continued training, instead of like stopping to take care of his son, he does take care of his son. So it's still that, but there's no one stopping him from training. meaning Goku does increase in power level. Now Goku's power level would be 2000, meaning he would be stronger, if not even more stronger than the Raditz. Because tournament during the Tenkaichi Budokai, he was as strong as Raditz, and Raditz was at a power level of 12,000. So Goku and Raditz would try to like abduct Gohan, but Goku would interfere immediately, and a fight would break out. With Raditz immediately seeing just how strong Goku is. Goku is like dominating the fight most of the time, but since the power level is the gap is high, what is his name? Yeah, Raditz does everything he can to fight Goku, but Goku easily overpowers him. Now Piccolo is like standing away and watching this, but he decides to come and kind of help Goku, even though he knows Goku doesn't need help. Now, what is Piccolo's power level? And that his power level would be 1000. Now, due to Piccolo's embarrassing defeat, Piccolo starts training even more, causing Piccolo to get big gains. That being at a power level of 1000 instead of being at a power level of 400 and like 400 mostly. Yeah, I think Piccolo was at a power level of 400. So, anyways, Goku and Raditz would continue the fight with Piccolo like trying to help, but he would be swatted away by Raditz, and Raditz would have enough of Goku like trying to outsmatch him. I mean, like they're flying on the ground in Kame house, by the way. Yes, and Goku does know flight. It's kind of like a thing. I mean, come on, like Kami would have taught him how to fly, and even if Kami didn't teach him, the androids taught him. So the battle is airborne, and like what is his name? Raditz decides enough is enough, and he makes a power ball and shoots it in the sky. He's so angry at himself that he can't surpass his weak brother that he didn't even think about the fact that number one, Goku's power level when being due to Goku having the tail, still having the tail, Goku would also turn Ozaru. But Raditz then comes think of it, and he thinks that Goku would not have any control, but oh, how wrong he would be. This would Goku and Raditz would turn into Great Ape while in sky, and they would start rolling at each other and would start firing beams. Gohan would quickly be hidden from the moon, like the power ball by Roshi, because Roshi knows about the Great Ape and he doesn't want another Great Ape like fighting. But Gohan would continue to see the fight with Roshi telling him what's going on by sensing ki. Now Raditz's power level would be 12,000, and while Goku's power level would be 20,000. And Raditz quickly realizing his mistake decides to end the powerball, but he needs to shoot a Kree blast on it. But Goku's overpowering himself, and Piccolo decides to intervene. Who he was charging up a special cannon when both Goku and both the Saints you could say grew up to their Ozaru forms. So he would he would take an aimbot to Raditz's tail and fire his fully charged special beam cannon, which would cut through Raditz's tail. But that's when at the same moment Raditz throws a ki blast onto the moon, destroying it. But Raditz also takes the time to yank out Goku's tail, because why would he want to keep Goku's tail with him? So the two tails would be yanked off, and the moon would be dissipated, and both Goku and Raditz would come back to their senses and would start fighting naked, and this would kind of cause Bulma to have a blush, but she would go inside to not see this, and only Krillin would be in the shore watching all this. And eventually Goku does land a big Kamehameha, which grievously injures Raditz for making him fall into the island, and there he explains about the Saiyans and their arrival and how this would happen. Now that's where Raditz dies, and Goku and the team gets ready for the Saiyan attacks. Now the Saiyan would come not for the fact that they know like the Earthlings have Dragon Ball, but to the fact that a low class Saiyan, that being Kakarot, defeated Raditz, who has been with them. So it's kind of a personal grudge at this point. Nappa really wants to go to like see how powerful this kid is, because like power uh, the power level did show 20,000, and since Raditz was transmitting everything to Vegeta and Nappa, Vegeta has a bone to pick and show who's the greatest Saiyan of all time. So Raditz would, not Raditz, Vegeta and Nappa would gather the spaceport and go get sent to Earth, where they would reach at 11 months' time. Goku would get like you could say clothes from Piccolo, and they would discuss their new options. Now Piccolo would want to fly off and like do on his own, but that's when both Android 8, both Lapis and Lazuli would show up to the island, each sensing the gigantic power battle that was going on. And after getting informed about what the hell happened, they realized that they need to train, and they do training with Piccolo joining them like reluctantly. Both Goku and both Goku, not Android, Lapis and Piccolo fly away while telling Gohan to stay here and practice with, you could say, Master Roshi to like increase his expertise. Now this would be very impressive to Gohan, because in the canon storyline, due to the fact that Gohan was trained like for by himself. He didn't have the expertise of martial arts that he gained later on in the series. But now that he's like literally getting trained from martial artist, a superior martial artist ever before, this would kind of help Gohan with his rage, and it would be beneficial for Gohan. Now, how the group will do their training, that's for the next episode. So if you guys like this video, like, share, subscribe, do the necessary stuff, and if you don't, I can understand. Peace out.